Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Have Marci on Us Monday night podcast, virtual talk show, virtual podcast talk show here on 7 Mile Radio. And thank you for coming back. Thank you for being here. Share this because, again, I am in Facebook jail. I can barely do anything for myself right now on Facebook, so I can't do much for the station right now. I'm kind of useless right now. Mark said it best. You're useless when you're in jail.
You're rendering yourself useless.
Yeah.
You know, Facebook, Zuckerberg is rendering you useless because it's not like you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Posting what you're posting and saying what you're saying to purposely end up
storming the Capitol. I did not try to storm the Capitol.
Storm the Capitol once again. Marci, it seems like, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 times since you started your show.
I wasn't in jail.
No, that you've been in jail.
Oh, I was.
And you've probably been in jail. You know, probably. You've been in jail longer than not.
Well, I said
since you started your show.
My recidivism rate for Facebook penitentiary jail is pretty high. But I'm gonna stick to my regular scheduled program, which was doing my haikus, and I'm gonna stop arguing with y'all. And I'm not gonna tell y'all I'm gonna
and stay away from the word whooped.
And stay away from the word whooped.
That seems to be a trigger word from somebody that doesn't like you. You know.
Yeah.
Marci, have you whooped anyone in real life?
No.
Oh, okay, because
Never
I feel like
anybody.
I feel like somebody that may have been maybe triggered every time they see you say whooped, and they have a flashback, and they just report you every time you say whooped because you might have whooped them at some point in time.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe, and that's a good point. It's karma. It's karma for me. It is what it is.
Have you verbally whooped?
That's what it is. The verbal whoopings. It's the verbal whoopings that's been going on. I done moved it over to IG. I need to stop. I just need to stop.
Well, you know they're owned by, they're still
the same people.
The metaverse. It's still, it's all metaverse.
They flagged me over there. Hey, T-Boss. Thank you for coming in. Thank you.
What's up, Yolanda, and everybody else is tuned in. Share the video.
Share until I can start doing also. Because even after I'm out of Facebook jail, which is in 11 days, they're letting me know that for another 30 days, my post will be marked lower in people's timelines just because. Just to add a little more insult to the injury. But it's okay. It's not affecting my real life, which is what I'm going to actually talk about my weekend. I had an amazing weekend. As you can see, the show title starts with Michigan Fashion Week. And I told you all last week that I was going to be putting my feet in shoes that are higher than 3 inches. And I was going to move my feet down a runway. In some very beautiful clothes designed by my homegirl that's actually been on my show before, Kiara. Did you get a chance to get those pictures?
Yep, I'm loading them up now. Let me see if I
Okay, y'all, brace yourselves. This is probably the most dolled up you'll ever see me, or unless I keep doing things like this. The amount of makeup that was placed on my face, it did the trick. It did the magic. It did what it had to do. I forgot the makeup artist's name. If you would like her information, you can message me later. But she's a student, I believe, at Dorsey, or was. And she volunteered her time at Michigan Fashion Week. And I was so glad to be in her chair. The designer that I walked for is OMG Key, the brand. And she's one of my childhood best friends. I don't even call her a friend. She's like a sister. And she actually started sewing about a couple years ago. And here she is in Michigan Fashion Week. She was in Michigan Fashion Week walking before. But that just shows you, like, man, you can do anything you put your mind to. That's me walking. I had like this big old poofy lingerie-esque robe type deal, and a little green maxi underneath, and I had flowers in the fro, and I was representing Mother Earth. You can find more pictures online if you hashtag search Michigan Fashion Week. and you can see Kiara's whole entire collection. You might see something that you like. She's super cool, super talented, and you might want to grab something from her. I think Metro Times took a picture of all her pieces and pretty much all the models. You can go to Metro Times and see all the models. I'm just still wild that I even did something like this. Kind of like the same thing when I asked her to be on my podcast. It's totally new for her. You know, I want to thank you, Kiara. I love you. We just within a year we did some stuff that neither of us thought we were ever going to actually do. But that's how it is. I'm gonna stop talking about her. Me and her had our first Kool-Aid stand. Enough said. We're gonna do big things out here. We're gonna do big things.
So that means you've known each other for a very long time.
Oh yeah, since we were kids. She lived across the street. But I want to talk about Michigan Fashion Week. I've never seen that many nipples in my life at one time backstage.
Wrong sound effect.
There we go. Never seen that many nipples in my life. They were everywhere, including mine. But everybody was getting changed. All the models, you actually got to see what you see the things, what people see backstage in movies and stuff. Or the fashion shows as it's described in movies and stuff. I actually got to see it in real time. I ran into the guest or the host was Carly Red. She's a star on a reality star, I believe. She's really cool in person, you know. I don't know much about her, but she walked past us, you know, asked a few questions. She looked great. Don't take my Detroit card, but that was the first time that I had been in Eastern Market. It's okay, because I was a star. It's okay. No, that's the first time Eastern Market had me. How about that? That's what I meant to say. I think I'll come back another Saturday and try to get some food. And, so, security was heavy. They had food trucks. And let me tell you what they did. And I hope this becomes more of a trend. They did not have too many of the same type of vendors, too many of the same type of food trucks there. So that the food trucks were able to get their fair share of customers.
Only got like 5 soul food trucks.
Exactly.
4 taco trucks.
Exactly. They had a JJ Fish. I forgot the name of the taco truck. And then they had a dessert truck. Boom. Bada boom. That's all you need. They had like one dessert vendor inside, but I do appreciate what they did for those small businesses. I held a snake. One of the vendors had you can hold a snake. I never thought I would do something like that before. I always said I wouldn't, but the snake was so inviting. So then they had a wine vendor, had me a glass of wine, you know that. And they had this, I didn't get a picture of this, but they had this black-owned stationery type greeting card company called Candidly Speaking, and it has some of our sayings and isms in it, and a lot of the new age ways that we console and express care to each other. Like they had one card that was like, it did say, it was a group of women drinking like maybe some champagne, and inside said, "Fuck that man, fuck them kids, fuck that job, let's go out." Just relax type shit. But and then for the guys, they had some too. Like, bro, you know, come out, hang out. They had one for the Father's Day. It said, you can have a big piece of chicken, but you got to cook it. You know, it was really nice. Of course, they had the 360 booth. And I was too poor to buy from all the vendors, but it definitely was a nice amount of vendors there. My mother came, of course. My biggest supporter, she was there, front and center. I'm pretty sure they probably thought she was a part of the show.
She was dressed appropriately to the culture.
All the time. When she came to Detroit Pizza Bar my first day, somebody was trying to buy her a drink. 2 people tried to buy her a drink just because she just looked so cute. She was dressed to the T, okay? I was like, I hope I make it to the news, but looks like Metro Times did throw me in there. Even if it was by default, I'm just glad to be in there.
That's what's up.
Yep. So, what else? So after that, Friday, did I miss everything on here? Did I do everything? Yep. After that, I woke up the next day and I had to go to, y'all know I'm in hair school, so I did practical. I had to do some hair stuff. So I just want to tell y'all, come to Unlimited Beauty Academy. those girls there need more practice on natural hair. And I don't care if you're watching this or not, buddies, classmates, you do need more practice on natural hair. So y'all bring y'all kids up there so they can get some experience. I'm tired of snatching the comb from people that don't know how to detangle or don't know what they're doing necessarily to a fro like this. But no, I really enjoyed myself at school, and it's a long time coming. Like I said, there's a generation or two of black women who don't necessarily know how to deal with our hair as it grows out of our head. I'm talking to everybody. We need to do better. You can also come there to get your nails done. We have some very affordable prices. The nail techs, a lot of nail techs in there. And that brings me to this point as far as nails and stuff. Remember it used to be, quote unquote, ghetto when people had those long nails? And people used to really categorize them and treat women and treat them a different kind of way because they had these long nails. But now
was the thing to do.
Now Kim Kardashian,
and different cuts and styles of the tips and
the beauty and the
coffin
art of
cut and
so many different cuts and
nail
lengths.
like a sharp Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, those things were frowned upon, but it's very interesting now.
And the white tips, whatever the French is, French whatever it is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
different
talking
kind
about.
of
Like, you got
French
all
and
kind
American
of different.
So I'm looking at these little white girls in the class like, oh, y'all want to learn how to do nails, huh? Okay. And I'm like, yeah, the Kardashians definitely made. Thank you, Kardashians, for making our culture palatable for whites and non-black
Did they
colors.
just do it to where now they can tap into it and
Capitalize.
they Juneteenth the nail industry?
They Juneteenth the nail industry. No, really. No freaking really. But I mean, nevertheless, the talent is amazing. You know, that drawing and stuff is really some intricate stuff. I know I can't do it. I don't think my hand's that steady. Oh, speaking of hair, one of the wigs that I sell actually made it to Michigan Fashion Week. Made it down the runway. Can I get a round of applause?
Actually, you can.
Yeah, one of the wigs I sell. Yep. I am not taking appointments yet. Again, I'm not taking appointments yet, but I will. I want to find some place to safely do, what I like to do. And just to close out this part of my Saturday, I just want to remind people because I made a post recently saying pay braiders more. I know a lot of us think that we can determine what someone should be charging for something that we are not about to do ourselves. I want to let you know, stop. Okay, somebody comes and does your roof, okay, and you can't afford them. Are you going to try to talk them down or tell them what they should be charging, or are you going to find an affordable roofer? Or are you going to do your research and figure out why they're charging that much? If you are not going to do it yourself, you cannot determine how much someone, or you don't have an opinion about how much someone should charge for their time or talent or that in combination. That's all I want to say. And it's just
being a music producer taught me, when I got into being a music producer, taught me that anything that I didn't do myself, I was going to have to pay somebody else to do.
And you're going to decide what's feasible for you, okay? For some reason, people they really be trying to tell black women how much they should charge for their time and their craft. Such and such charge ABC. Go to such and such. Well, why aren't you going to such and such? Oh, there's a reason.
The quality of the product is not the same.
Even it's the quality or price or opinion, or convenience. That's usually what it is. It's usually all about convenience because somebody can not be that talented, but they're more convenient. Not that talented, but they can be more convenient. All I'm saying is stop trying to tell people what to charge for something that you have chosen not to learn how to do. Does that make sense, Mark?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Absolutely it does.
That's all I want to say. After school, I went to work. Thank you, everybody who came out to Detroit Pizza Bar. Once again.
I rode past the pizza bar the other night. It was on, 6 Mile or something. I rode past it. I said, hey, that's Marci's spot right there.
I'm there from...
Wyoming. It was between Wyoming and
Illinois.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My friends came out once again, 5 to 10, on Saturday. I was on the rooftop this time.
Oh.
Yep. And I just kept telling everybody, come over to the rooftop. And if you look over, you can see the beach.
No, really.
You can see the beach. And the shells of buildings that are about to be developed. Beautiful building, of course. Beautiful area. I was just, doing a little silver lining joke, about,
The area.
Yes, in the area. But like I said, the feeling is not the same. Being in the arena working and, you kind of resent the gentrification going on around you. This development over on 6 Mile in Livernois is not necessarily that. It's actually gentrification done correctly. I guess that makes it not gentrification. I mean, these people, they have a rooftop restaurant within walking distance of their house with state-of-the-art everything in it. And I'm glad that they have it now because they deserve it. The city of Detroit, we deserve luxury. People deserve luxury. And it's shown and proven that. It's shown and proven that when you give it to us, because, they say, oh, you give the hood something, they're going to tear it up. It's shown that if you give them something good enough that they believe is actually going to benefit them and they believe in it, and it's 100% done in the correct way, yes, they're going to respect it. They're going to respect it and they're going to appreciate it.
How about not even that deep? You know what I mean? As far as things being restored and just replenished in the neighborhoods, it raised the morale of the people in the neighborhood.
That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
It raised the morale, and it makes them feel like their area is worth something. Their community
that you think
has
we're worth
value.
something.
So
Yeah.
I take ownership in not littering around in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Crime. All of these things. It's like we now again, we have the threshold of, say, the beginning stages of the redevelopment where you still have to work out the kinks, i.e. the people who are still out spray painting on the buildings that want to wreck the buildings and stuff. So we had to get past that. But again, this is to raise the morale of the community and the mind states of the people that's in the area.
Yep.
So where they will see more value in what it is that they have around them, so they'll feel better about it and care about it more. You know what I mean? Because this business may be owned by your neighbor.
Yep.
There's a possibility of that being the thing now in the city.
That business is specifically trying to hire people that live within a mile or two of the restaurant. So that's even more powerful. There was a customer that came in there. He said he lived a few blocks away, and the look of shock and how proud he was to be sitting in there. He was just like, I grew up around here. I used to walk down this block, I just can't believe this something like this is here. And I said, you're happy about it though, right? He said, I'm ecstatic. But again, shout out to Detroit Pizza Bar. Did you get my pictures?
Yes.
My friends came through. They came through after Paige's baby shower. Shout out to you, Paige. Congratulations, Paige. Can you give her a round of applause?
Round of applause for Paige.
Oh, Paige, you did it. Having a baby. What? And then, so you sent your crowd from your baby shower. Thank you very much. You sent them right on down to Detroit Pizza Bar. I'm so glad they came through. I saw people that I had not seen in about 15 years. And some people that I had known for almost 30 years or definitely known for 20 years. So I'm going to name them. Ryan Darling and his wife came through. Yes, I saw Ryan Darling. Courtney Howe, Jennifer, her cousin, and then Jennifer's husband, Chris, came through. Jennifer and Chris, thank you for coming to see me while you're in town, squeezing me in. Walter, I'm so glad I got to see my brother. Walter was here on the show, remember? Mm-hmm. You saw the picture of him, right? Mm-hmm. He came to visit me while I was up there. I'm so glad. Congratulations on your new baby. Brittany Mentor, yes, she's back in town, came. Niecy slid through. Clifton was there already, and he saw me. He kept me company the whole night. Thank you very much, my brother. Paige's friend, I don't remember her name, but Tasha and Alita's aunt, and the Brian Crooms slid through. My baby slid through. Thank you so much for sliding through, y'all. Brunch is every second and fourth Sunday. I did not do this Sunday brunch. I wouldn't necessarily bank on me to be doing brunches, but I at least 5 to 10 on Saturday. Way better experience this time for my guests. The first time, food was a little slow, but this time everything came out very nice and prompt. The servers, the customer service is great. Y'all come through. What else? The weather was amazing that day. I plan to be there for the rest of the summer. Mm-hmm. So at this time was around the time I was supposed to call Mark, but the night got a little crazy. So by that time, we were at our second, third venue. All my friends from high school, We slid on downtown. Went to Waddle's house. Congratulations on his little sister Chelsea on becoming an AKA. Can I get a round of applause for Chelsea?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
hit the wrong button.
Wrong button. Congratulations. Thank you for kicking it with us and not kicking us out your party that we crashed. You did not invite us. Brandon invited us. So, but Brandon in true Aquarian form had to bounce. Just like an Aquarius. You're going to throw a party and then have to leave. But we went to Queen after that. I don't particularly like this bar because they don't have food, but they had some food outside of the bar. And I had these sausages that if a plant-based sausage could be undercooked, that's what I had. Questions that need answers. I need somebody to answer this question in the comments. If you're there, it was 2. Can a plant-based sausage be undercooked, Mark?
A plant-based sausage first, so it's not meat.
So it can't be undercooked.
So if it's not meat, then it probably don't need to be cooked for real. The purpose of cooking it is to kill the bacteria. Basically, get the meat to the texture that is
that we can digest it.
Stuff like that. But
I didn't feel anything bad. You must be absolutely correct because I didn't get sick or anything. I think Michigan Fashion Week is the only Pride event I might have went to this weekend. If it's considered a Pride event. It was Detroit Pride this weekend. Congratulations on your progress, Detroit, when it comes to queer folk. Last week, there was a trans woman on the radio station last week, wasn't it?
Yes, there was
a trans lady.
She said
I was watching the show.
Period.
Your sister
Taste.
Okay.
Had a transgender woman on her show.
Okay, shout out to 7 Mile Radio for being a comfortable place for trans women to be able to be on the radio. That is not common everywhere. Shout out to you, Mark, to treating people like they're human beings.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because they are.
I give people like yourself the platform and the opportunity to put together the type of talk shows that you all want to have. So, I mean, within that is the type of talk shows that y'all want to have, and if those are the type of shows y'all want to have, then so be it. You know what I mean? I'm all for it because y'all are the platform.
We're not spewing no hate, and that is awesome about a medium outlet. Shout out to all the queer people that are on the station, and shout out Detroit. Shout out to you, Detroit. Somerset is on fire right now. Well, I don't know if it's still on fire, but Somerset Mall.
Wow, insurance job, huh?
That's what my homegirl Kanika said. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Authorities have confirmed that there was a fire at Somerset Collection. Let me see this.
I wonder how much of the mall was actually damaged. Or what store it started in.
It started in Capitol Grill. Is located on the north side of the mall near Macy's, Zara, Vera Bradley, and Blue Nile. The mall security and Troy Fire Department responded real fast. They mitigated the flames and smoke, but they did not close the mall. Why did they say some of the malls still open? And I guess that makes sense. I guess that's feasible. I mean,
why shut down the whole mall? It's not like it was a threat to.
It wasn't a threat to Journeys.
It wasn't a threat to anybody's safety. It's not like the whole building was on fire and threatened to anybody's health, I guess, besides smoke inhalation, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess it was a kitchen fire.
No, it was just something small.
Oh, man. Like you said, I hope it wasn't an insurance job. We're going to take out the whole mall for a check. Not the whole mall. Dang. Speaking of Detroit news, more Detroit news. There was a shooting at Persian High School the other day while the football players were outside. You know I don't like talking about a lot of violence, but this is getting out of hand. Y'all get y'all cousins Pookies and Mook, get their ass back in the house. Excuse me, Mom. Get their ass back in the house.
I actually covered that story. It was a shooting as a result, occurred as a result of a fight. Someone actually left the fight and went home, got the gun, and came back and decided to shoot up the practice. And at the time, I didn't know if it was football or basketball practice. So now we know it was football practice. So that's what happened. And one person was injured. One person was shot.
What? Wow. Okay. Well, the article I read, they said no one got hit. No one got hurt. But prayers to the person that did get shot. That's terrible. They said they pulled up in a parking lot and just rang out like 11 shots toward the field, I believe, while the guys were outside. teacher Christopher Kohler said he does sympathize and empathize with any parents who are concerned about their kids' safety, especially during this climate. I mean, y'all got all this mass shooting shit going on. So why y'all resolving stuff in this way? Like, we already said that the hood was a little safer than the suburbs when it came to mass shootings. Now, what are y'all doing? You kidding on top of not being able to shoot? Or what are you doing? Just that stray bullet could have hit anyone. Like, those stray bullets. They said it was 13 shots. 13 shots. And he said, of course, the teacher said it's something he never wants to see again. They covered the teacher in Texas that said that he tried to protect his class. That the gunman shot him, and then he played dead, and then he went and rang out the kids. And these teachers, and y'all don't want to pay these teachers more. Look what they're facing. They're literally facing more. I'm sorry, they're facing more threat than the police sometimes. I'm sorry. Get mad, I don't care. They got 30 little kids that may or may not have gone through, 30 to 50 little kids in their class that may or may not have gone through security, metal detectors.
I wouldn't be against, in this day and age, as, I don't know, harsh as it may sound, I wouldn't be against having armed security in the schools, man, especially within the threshold of the first two doors of the school, just to keep the nonsense out. They don't have to be marching throughout the hallways all throughout the school like the military police or something like that, but at least armed guards, armed security at the doors. At least one at each door, depending on how large the high school is, how large the school is, to where they can have some kind of, neutralizer to a situation that could happen like this.
A neutralizer. How about that? Teacher Andre Staley, he said, based on these events, we, the teachers at Persian High School, are requesting additional security on our campus and in our building. And for those, he said, who say they don't want to see schools resemble prisons, he said, it's only a prison if you are trying to get out from the inside. If you're trying to be safe from the inside, then it's a fortress, and that's what our kids need. So he said, they don't want to resemble prison, but, first of all, they already look like a prison from the outside. They've been looking like a prison. They always have. A lot of that, I don't know if the actual building is going to make a kid more prone to go to prison. What do you think about that? You think that?
If school makes a kid more prone to go to prison, it depends, man. It depends. Like, I'm not just gonna say school just period makes it, makes a kid more prone to go to prison. But there are elements of the school that entice or induce.
And it's not the actual building.
Criminal activity.
It's what they're teaching.
It's what they're teaching, or the system of how they teach it.
I think it's more so like what you said. I think it's more to how they're teaching and how about this? The lunch. If anything is preparing these children for prison, it's definitely the school lunch.
And then how they discipline the kids. It's a lot of
similarities
in the prison system and the school system.
The way we talked about on the last show.
The building is set up.
See? Even what we talked about on the last show about how they're trying to resolve the mental health issues, but they shut down the mental health institutions back in '97. Engler did that, and they actually. What are the mental health resources in the school systems? I remember when I was in school. It wasn't until I got in middle school we had actual counselor. So, and that was new. They had to introduce us to what a school counselor was, and we had them at high school, but they were more so about what are you doing after high school. It wasn't hey, what's going on with you right now. So. The mental health resources need to be there, And how about this? Training these kids at Tropical Smoothie. I told y'all I'm a manager there. A lot of these kids, they need anger management help. Teach your kids how to deal with anger. Or, lose a fortnight, they can't be throwing shit across the room. Come on now. Okay, and then when somebody else gets them together about anything, they lashing out. But I feel like that feels very mass shooting-y, the thing that happened at Persian. And thank you, T-Boz. I missed your comment. Thank you, T-Boz. You're beautiful too. And what's up, Amanda? How are you? So, I don't like to discuss too much effed up news, but to balance this out, I'm going to tell y'all that Persian, they're actually about to. Is it Persian? No. Speaking of DPS, it's a graduate, a Cass Tech graduate, has started a robotics program at Persian. So Marlo Thigpen, unapologetically, to be a proud graduate of Cass Tech and from Detroit, he is starting a STEM. He's having a STEM awards program. No, he has a STEM program, but Detroit is having a STEM awards. So he graduated she graduated in 1990, but she's working with Persian to bring back the robotics program. I know we had a robotics program at Renaissance, and I should have been in it. I think they want all the problem kids in there. But all I'm saying, the silver lining to the whole shooting thing that came out, Persian is going to have a robotics program coming out this summer. She said she's a proud product of DPS, and she always wanted to give back to the school system that educated her. She's a master teacher of mathematics at Pershing. She's been an anchor for what they say, historic Conant Gardens neighborhood since, well, that's what Pershing has been since for Conant Gardens neighborhood. So, congrats, Thick Pen, and thank you for that. Thank you for that. I want to talk about Monique, and not my friend, the comedian.
Oh, shit.
The comedian. Oh, so what made her, do you know what actually made her lash out at DL? What made her want to lash out at DL? Was it the whole thing with the Tyler Perry
probably
thing?
Conversation. It was a combination maybe between the differences in the contract. She thought she was the headliner and she wasn't. Combined with other situations where I guess she felt like DL had threw her under the bus or slighted her in some kind of way. So maybe this is just the coup de grace of the end-all, be-all for her as far as DL was concerned. But I just don't understand how she had a gripe with the contract when her husband...
Her sister said she has misplaced anger. Misplaced anger, displaced anger.
A lot of
she
it.
Needs to, yeah, so that sounds like what it is. Her statements, she got on stage and said all this
Yeah.
about DL and his family.
Yeah.
Because I just read it. I didn't get a chance to see the actual
She
videos.
said some shit. Like, she was very disrespectful.
I heard some stuff she said, and it's like, she brought up, what he said, how can his wife still screw him after what he, about him, not after him disrespecting their daughter, she's saying. And my thing is, and my point is the same thing. I think Angela Yee said this. Whenever she does have a solid opinion, she says, how can you say that you're trying to uplift black women and what you're doing right now, but you just expose the young lady's sexual abuse? So it makes me wonder, how far will you go? You know, some of those people we know that will be online, you know, ready to expose whatever. If you want people afraid of you, you got it, boo. You got it. Anybody about to be dealing with, nobody's going to deal with that. You want to try to, you know, air out people's dirty laundry, you know, because of a personal issue. Keep it between you and DL. Why are you bringing in, you know, his daughter? And I'm pretty sure that was a hurtful, that was definitely a nerve she plucked with the family. I read what the daughter said back to her. And honestly, that's probably my only angle. Why are you exposing a little girl like that? I don't know how old the girl is actually, but she doesn't deserve for her information to be out there. Do I empathize for DL being put out there? No. Do I empathize for his wife? Yeah, probably a little, maybe. Really about the victim here. But I'll probably never be on earth long enough to really empathize for somebody being exposed. Like, I'm talking about the girl. Not talking about the girl. I'm talking about DL. I'm not gonna feel bad about him being quote unquote exposed. Cause you ain't believe homeboy. And let's talk about why you ain't believe that homeboy did this to your daughter. Let's talk about why you didn't believe it. Because the bro code is thicker than any code out here. Even believing my daughter code. And so me and my mom were talking about it. She was like, "Oh, yep, it's probably because he knew him." I said, "Yeah." Or he didn't want to do the work, didn't want to do the emotional work to believe. You know, the predators are always closest in the family. Statistically, they're the closest. They're hanging around your family So I know he and his wife probably definitely had a while to get through. Took a lot to get through that one. Yeah. Speaking of victims, Geico is ordered to pay, and Geico is not the victim here. Geico is ordered to pay $5.2 million to a woman who contracted an STD in the back of the vehicle that is insured by Geico. The other sexual participant was insured by Geico, and he knew that he had this STD, which what, HPV, and he did not disclose it to her. The insured negligently caused or contributed to be infected with HPV by not taking proper precautions and neglecting to inform and or disclose his diagnosis despite having knowledge of his condition. Man, I wonder how much money people done missed out on and they contracted STDs in the back of cars. She filed this motion. Well, how about this? M.O. is her name. M.O. asserted her then boyfriend's car insurance policy covered her injuries and losses in a claim in 2021. Geico turned down her claim, and she took matters to an arbitrator who found the insured negligently infected M.O. with HPV and awarded her $5.2 million in damages. She then filed the motion with the trial court that ruled in her favor. She wanted $5.2 million. Geico has appealed the judgment, claiming that they were not giving meaningful opportunity to defend their person, whoever the infector. But they never got around to it. So $5.2 million. Y'all get that in a couple days. You'll be okay. Everybody's insured. They're paying for her past and future medical expenses. So, Kanika said nice glasses. Thank you very much. With all that being said, I have one last thing to say, Mark. I have very good news for you and your friends. Just in case. I don't know if y'all can use this information or not. But they do have Brazilian dick lifts.
No.
No. Well, they have it. I was looking up a hospital over in Turkey that they do these things, a cosmetic doctor's office. If you need it, I have all the information for you, fellas. I want to know in the comments how many of you all Kanika said crickets. How many of y'all would get it, or would y'all date somebody with it? What if your lover end up getting it? What if your spouse said, I want to get a BDL? And I mean, how would y'all feel? They say they want to get bigger. There's a few different ways you can get it. It costs about $10,000 to $13,000 in the U.S. for an enlargement, and about $3,000 to $10,000 overseas. Girth surgery is $5,000 to $7,000. You know what they do? They take a skin graft from your thigh or from your gut or somewhere, and they say some guys they can do this for the rest of their lives because they have an unlimited supply of fat. So they take this fat and they from the base up to the top. They add the fat in around. The word says circumferentially. So, yeah, the consultation's free though, Mark.
Are you explaining this for the ladies, hopefully? Because I'm sure the guys don't want to hear that part.
Oh, no. It's guys that need to know this. 70% of guys out here feel, even if their penis is bigger than average or average, a lot of them just feel inadequate. They feel inadequate in the bedroom. So you are a good candidate if you're healthy or not satisfied with your penis size. Good candidate. It includes men with average or larger than average. But they did say that if you have a micro penis, that you may not be the best candidate. micro penises are usually due to hormone imbalances. So they said micro penises for some reason aren't necessarily always the best candidates. But I thought they would be the best candidate. But I don't know how much. Look, a fat transfer probably won't do much for you. But they have a few different ways you can get this. The fat transfers, like I said, they take some fat. Kanika says it's not the size of the ship, but the motion of the ocean. That's right, Kanika. That's very right. And hopefully you have some big enough paddles. So they're going to purify the fat before they put it back in your penis. Don't worry about it. And they most awfully do this fat transfer for girth. So, Mark, if you have any friends that need this information, then pass this information on to them. The fellas, if y'all at the gym, when y'all talking about your health issues, you know. This one is a 2-hour process, and you will be awake for it. It's a local anesthesia, so you're going to be awake for this. Hopefully they numb it up enough. Then they got another one where you can get an implant. It's the shape of a penis. This one is the more safe route. It has been proven to be more successful than the other ones with a very low infection chance of infection, very low chances of infection. Not as many customers have been complaining about it, and it doesn't have a whole lot of drainage issues. But don't worry, Mark, it's medical grade silicone. So
it's not going to poison you.
It's not going to poison you. It's not going to poison you. This is the more expensive one. And then they got something called a ligament release. That's where the ligament that's there attaching the penis to the body, they're going to cut it so it can just hang lower. So that's actually another option, but it actually comes with the risk of having erectile dysfunction. So I just want to give that information to you guys to let you all know that penis enlargements are a real thing, and they're available for, ladies, no more excuses. If you like the guy and you say, oh, but his penis is small, well, they have options. They have things where you can fix it. You can fix it. You can start saving now, just in case you meet a guy that you like. He might not, be the size that you want, So that's the health news that I have for you today. Other than that, I've covered everything I wanted to say. Again, I'm so glad that I saw all my friends this weekend. And I'm going to see y'all again the upcoming weekend at the same place at Detroit Pizza Bar. Let me say it in my regular Detroit accent. Detroit Pizza Bar. And I will catch y'all next Monday. Good night, Mark.
Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile